in a Senate resolution that is going to be a resolution condemning the House impeachment inquiry, especially the process in which they've engaged it. We've been attacking that process for a number of days here because I look at the constitutional issues here, and it's breathtaking in scope. I'm not the only one that thinks that because Lindsey Graham thinks that, who's chairman of the Judiciary Committee, and now Mitch McConnell, who is the Senate Majority Leader, is also adding his name to this resolution. So it will actually be introduced by the Majority Leader and the chairman of the Judiciary Committee in the Senate. If there was an impeachment proceeding that actually was a trial in the Senate, they would be the two senior senators involved in it. I don't think it gets to that stage, but the point is this process is so tainted. And now, on top of all of this, there is an allegation again that there is a third act of bias on the so-called whistleblower. So all of that's breaking today.
Adam Schiff now is getting a lot of pushback from major congressional Democrats in the House and Senate because at first, he wanted to bring this whistleblower at least to testify behind closed doors. He reversed course on that when he was caught lying about his staff's contact with the whistleblower and the political bias that the IG for the intelligence community wrote about. But now Catherine Herridge has uncovered, we already knew that there were two bias issues. One, that the whistleblower is a registered Democrat. Okay, that's part one. Part two was that they had a working history with a senior Democrat. People believe that to be Vice President Biden because Ukraine was in his purview as vice president. Now there is a third. Right now it's an unreported reason by Fox News. I have a feeling that Catherine Herridge will have this by the end of the day or end of the week. But yet another reason why they believe this may be a tainted partisan whistleblower. Right. I think, in my opinion, it's a deep state actor recruited by Schiff and his staff to file what is a whistleblower complaint by someone who is not an actual, true whistleblower in the truest sense of the term.
So now you have a whistleblower, and apparently a whistleblower that is tainted, A, by bias, and secondarily, the whistleblower complaint is tainted by virtue of the fact that Adam Schiff had prior contact with this whistleblower. And now Adam Schiff refuses to hold public hearings with respect to other alleged witnesses, many of whom have no direct evidence with respect to the allegations.
There's a great temptation on the Senate side of Capitol Hill right now to ignore all of this, to sort of say, we're going to stay above the fray. We're not going to pay attention to the process, no matter how abusive it is. We're going to be the upper statesman. What this resolution, Jay, does is it gives the majority leader is telling his caucus, no, the process that's going on in the House right now does matter because it's fundamental to fair treatment of whether it's the president or anybody else that the House is going after, Jay. And that process will serve as the foundation for how we will consider this matter if it does indeed come to us. So, Jay, here's what it does. It gets senators focused on all of the problems that you and Jordan have been talking about right now. It doesn't let them off the hook by saying we're just going to ignore this till it comes to it. It makes them take a look at what Chairman Schiff is doing and actually consider if that matters instead of simply ignoring it. I think it's very important.
No, I think it's more than symbolism. It's a message to the House of Representatives that you are violating constitutional norms, constitutional process, the Constitution itself, the way you're conducting this inquiry. You're violating that, in that sense, your oath of office to uphold the Constitution and enforce it. I think if we look at the constitutional issues being raised here, this becomes front and center. This is what I've been saying for a month. The entire process from beginning to end. A pattern and practice of irregularities.